Okay, now we're recording. Welcome everyone to Zine Club on Zoom. It's 4 o'clock Monday, and we do these about once a month now. And for our last 2024 Zine Maker guest in Zine Club, Los Angeles Public Library Zine Club, we have Desi Muñoz. So I'm going to let Desi take it away and let us know all about zine making and how it was started and continued and the future of everything. Thank you so much for being our guest and feel free to ask questions in the chat and be on or off camera. We have the full hour, so go take it away. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Desi Muñoz. Some of you know me as Desi Lou or Desiree, but yeah, my name's Desi Muñoz. Thank you all for being here today. I'm just going to go through a little presentation that I made for everybody to share about things and stuff like that. So stay tuned. But here's our first slide. I just a little background about myself. Born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley. I've been a photographer since I was, little. I've been attracted to photography and cameras and just taking pictures in general. I'd always have to get my hands on, disposable camera or anything that I can use. I'd borrow cameras from friends. Anybody that I could be around that had, any photography stuff, I would try to be around. I'm mostly self-taught, still learning a lot of my processes. I learn from a lot of my friends and the people that I'm around. That's like really important to my craft is that just like discussing photography in general with people and just sharing that connection overall of just like capturing moments and then like sharing it across, through zines, through, art shows and things like that. Like that's what I'm really drawn to through photography and making zines. Another thing too is that I also worked at a photo studio in right out of high school. That was like a big deal for me. I worked with one of my really good friends, Vanessa. She had called me and asked if I wanted to work at a photo studio. So I got really lucky with that. And that was like a big part of cultivating my photography. I was exposed to using, film photography equipment there. I had to develop everything. I had to learn about, just the CMYK processes. We had like the old school machines where you had to like use arrows to change the colors. We had to load the negatives, in a little bag. I can't remember the name of them, but yeah, like everything was like very just like the process, like everything I had to learn, like as I went through it. My boss would get really upset at me because I didn't know about like lighting. I would get in trouble. Like sometimes the pictures would be a little messed up, but I was learning, and it's all through film. So that was really cool. I took a lot of like glamour shots, things like that. And I got to borrow a lot of film and develop my own film there, which was really big for me because I was around a lot of creative people at the time. So that was really pivotal. And another big part of my whole like zine process and like journey has been my friend Steph Segura. She has been a photographer as long as we would collaborate a lot and make a lot of cool stuff together. She also started her own thing called La Chamba Press. And together we both had started applying to like the book fairs in LA and New York. And so I got into the New York Art Book Fair and she actually flew me out there to present with her. So both of us were there at MoMA PS1, holding space with all of our friends. My friends Seafree and Paul also came out from Whittier and we all like partied out there and just like had all this really great zines and like shared everything with everybody. And that was really cool. I got to also work for the MoMA during that weekend shooting content for them. So that was really cool. So yeah. One of my biggest influences starting off has also been Hamburger Eyes. I want to mention that. That was like a really big zine to me when I was a child, a teenager actually. I found out about Hamburger Eyes through this place called, oops, sorry, backspace. Let me go back a slide. Um, Sorry. So I went to this place a lot as a teenager. It's called The Smell. The picture didn't load for some reason, but anyways, The Smell is venue in LA. It's still in existence, and I was in this band at the time called Kill Kill the Nurse, and we would play shows there at The Smell. And The Smell has this really cool. It's like a long space. It's made out of brick. It's really full of cool art and all kinds of neat things. And they had a big zine library there. And so through the zine library is where I got a lot of exposure to like all of my first zines. Just like a lot of like DIY stuff, like how to, cooking zines, just all kinds of different things. And I had no exposure, beyond that. And that was like my first time seeing zines in person and like just seeing how you can get really creative with making different things. It didn't have to just be photography or about music, it could be about anything. So that was like a really big deal to me, just being there at the smell, being exposed to all that, and like being around people from all different areas. Was meeting people from like the San Fernando Valley, from the 562 area code, like East LA, like everywhere. Like everybody was like coming together and like making music, making creative stuff. So that was like a really big part of like my background, I think, to like how I got into making zines and like what influenced me. So yeah. Anywho, oops, I think I'm going. Yeah. Anywho, so around like I want to say 2009 is when I did start to make my first zine. I was working at like a mortgage company, and again, I was just kind of trying to figure stuff out. I didn't really know how to make a zine, but I was just kind of learning everything on my own. I just remembered loading like a bunch of pictures onto the computer and then trying to like print them through like the photo app stuff and just kind of like figuring out layouts, like not really know what I was doing. And then I remember like printing out one side and then just like loading the paper back in through the printer and like trying to figure out, okay, how do I get it to come out landscape on this side and that, and like just like printing over and over again on the same piece of paper until I like figured it out. And that was like a really big deal for me, just like making something real. Right away I just wanted to like send it out to a bunch of friends. I had just kind of I had a blog at the time too that I was really into, so I was covering a lot of I was covering a lot of art and going to a lot of like art shows and stuff like that. So I wanted to make something that I can trade and like to like pass out and show like my work and to show like other people's stuff that I was into. So that was like my first zine. It was called To Sir with Love. I took that from like a title from an old Sidney Poitier movie. I like a lot of old films. That's like also a big part of like my influences and my styles. Just like watching a lot of old films, um, just like that old imagery. I think it has a lot to do with like my eye and like what I'm drawn to, just like noticing details, noticing little things. That's a big part of my process too. But yeah, so this is one of the first covers, the two first covers of my first zines. One of my friends had sent me a picture of this that he saved, luckily. Again, these are the zines I made just by like printing and like loading the paper back and forth. I didn't have like a cutter, I just stapled them. I remember using like, I just like opened up one of like the regular staplers and then just trying to like stamp it like really hard onto the spine of the book. And I think I put like a mouse pad under it so that it would like catch the staple, and then I'd like flip it over and then like manually like fold the staple in on like each zine just to like have something. Cause again, I just was trying to figure it all out. And I like again, I didn't even know how to like cut anything back then. So I just started sending stuff out, trading things. I made a lot of my own stickers, stuff like that. And I was just trading things, doing my zine, working for different blogs, just trying to post stuff. So that was like, yeah. One of the big things that I did get into though was the LA Art Book Fair. I had covered it once for LA, and then after that I applied the following year, and I met up with like a bunch of people during that time, some friends from the Camera Creeps, and that was Joe Segura, Paul Carrillo, and Cifri Barayo, and the four of us made our own group where we were in the LA Art Book Fair, and we invited a bunch of our friends to present with us too, which was really cool. And we just wanted to like share space with everybody local, because that was like the one thing we noticed about the LA Art Book Fair at first, was that it was like people from all over the globe, which is amazing, really great, but it just didn't have like a lot of like local artists that like we knew. Like none of our friends were there, so we're like, oh my gosh. Like, so when I got in there right away, I was like, okay, I can't do this alone. Like I need to hit up my friends. And then we hit up, once like the word got out, everybody was like, can I bring a zine, can I bring a zine? And we're like, yeah, like everybody was welcome, we didn't turn anybody away. And that was like a big part of our group process. Like everybody just kept coming through the whole weekend, and like we sold out of one thing. It was like, all right, we have space, throw your zines on the table. Like, and it was just really cool that we had that like community space, and then it like opened us up to meeting all kinds of people through the book fair, which was really cool. I met my friend Jess through the LAR book fair. So she's here with me. That's we're here at her place. Sorry. Hi. But, yeah, and then I've met a lot of really great people. My friend Oscar too. He's here live on the Zoom too. I see him logged in. Oscar's from Chicago. Our friend Oscar would like come from all the way from Chicago to like come to the book fairs and like buy our zines and all that. And like I think that just like showed us like we were doing something, good. Like we were going in like a good direction. Like people were like drawn to us and we were drawn to them. And we just kept like growing. It was just like a little mob. Like you'd see our table and it's like a mob of like all of our friends and homies around, just like, oh, like just, and it was really cool. I think that like was really fun. And like you'd see like other people at their tables just kind of like, looking over at us and we just like, ah, but it was cool because we were local. So I think that made it more special. And then like getting like people from Chicago to like come like hang out with us and like buy our stuff was like amazing. And like now we have like these long standing friendships. And like my friend Oscar like has like cataloged my stuff. He's shown my stuff out there in Chicago, which is really cool. Having my stuff in New York, Tijuana, like everywhere, like that's been really cool. Just like doing zine events everywhere that we could apply to. I think that was a big thing for all of us, is just like taking space and then like traveling with it and like presenting it is even better. So yeah. Uh, so I am going to show some of my work. Um, oh, and also, why do I make zines? I just wanted to say that too. I make zines because I want to create, tangible memories that can be felt and shared with, different viewers. My zines are like my physical catalogs. Like I have, like today when I was gathering everything, I was just like kind of shocked at like how many zines I have made throughout the years. I don't even know if I've kept count. I know some of my friends like number them, which they're really great about, but it was really cool just to like go through and see everything and just be reminded like this is why I make zines, because they're here still. They're not like behind a screen. They're not forgotten. They're not in a hard drive, forgotten. Like they're right here in person where I could like touch them, hold them, like present them, like, and that's like really important to me. So these are some of the zines that I have made and I would like to share with you guys. Um, but yeah. This again, I talked about this earlier. My first zine is called To Serve with Love, and I just, giving a shout out to my friend Oscar for cataloging my work, because I was texting him last night and I was like, "Do you have pictures of my stuff?" And of course he did. Like everything, he was just like sending it through. So thank you, I really appreciate that. And that just goes to show the importance of like community and having people that have your back. So yeah, that's my first zine, To Serve with Love. It was like a photo zine of just like all LA, like street art, just like street art that I was really into at the time, just taking pictures of like the city, empty at night. I was really drawn to that. So that's my first zine. Um, this was one of my favorite zines. I do have a copy of it still. It's a yellow, I called it the yellow Polaroid zine. And it's all FP 100C, which is a film that's no longer made. It's like a peel apart film. And I had just gotten really into the film at the time. And I just made this zine. I was like so into it. The cover is like a multiple exposure. The photo, it got like stuck in the camera and I like shot over it twice. And it's like a old dairy like near Compton. I don't know if it's still there or not, but yeah. And then inside there's a picture I have. I met Jason Lee. He's also a really avid photographer, and I went up to him at it was like a art booth, art fair, something in Pasadena. And I remember asking him like, "Hey, like, can I take your photo?" And at first he like turned around and looked at me. He's like, "With what?" And I think he asked because he probably thought like, oh, it's just someone gonna like use their phone, like whatever. And I think if I had a phone, he may have said no. But then I busted out my big old like land camera, and he was like, oh, okay, okay, and, like, all right. And then like he was like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, And when people ask me that right away, I get all like, oh my god, like you're asking your photographer what to do? I gotta pose you, okay? So I'm like, can you go by the trees? So he just stood over there by the trees. The lighting hit like perfect. And yeah, I took the picture. This is actually the bleach negative that you guys are looking at, which is also a process of bleaching like the backside of the negatives. It's like the dark part where it was like not exposed. It's a process where you can actually use bleach to make like a negative out of it. So that was the picture from it. And then the other one to the side is my friend Abby. I would photograph her like all the time, and this is also a double exposure. I took the neon that says spiritual advisor. I took the picture in Baldwin Park, and then I like left it loaded in my camera, and I like drove over to her house 20 minutes away, and I was like, I need to take a picture of you. Like I have a picture loaded already. So I like matched it up. I like shot her again with like flash, and like yeah, that's how that came out. So it was like two pictures taken in two different places in one. So this zine was like a really I really love this zine. Like that one sold out. I don't know if I have any copies. I would like to reprint this one though, because it was like a really big, yeah, big project for me. And that's another thing. Sometimes people will ask like if I do themed zines and stuff like that, and sometimes I do. Like this theme to me was, you know, all about like Polaroids and stuff like that. So yeah, this next one, I also did it at the same time. I was very active at this time. This is a FP 3000B film, which is also no longer made. It's a black and white Fuji film, peel apart. And so this project, I started in the morning at like, I want to say like probably like 8 or 9 in the morning. And I started with my friend Ashley, and I took a picture of her first. And then I went like all over, all the way from like West Covina to Long Beach to LA to Hollywood all in one day, and I shot all these different girls' portraits on the FP 3000B, which was really cool. And then I made that zine with it, and the cover is actually like a little piece from the negative from a Polaroid. So that's what the cover is. So that's something too that I want to mention about creating zines. You can get creative by using different things for covers. It doesn't have to just be a picture or text or blank. You can use stuff that you scan, you know, things that you find. And so this was like a piece of like the film that usually gets thrown away. So I scanned it and used it as the cover. So yeah. And it's kind of like cool. They know, you know. So then when you see it, you're like, oh, I know. So yeah. This one, this is all, this one is funny to me because it says smile to the camera and camera's misspelled. And the reason I wanted to talk about this zine is because it has just like everything that I noticed in between the days, like just like, you know, things that people don't really look at, just like signs on the walls, things like buildings that are normally passed by. Like this zine has like a lot of just things that people wouldn't notice. So that's why I wanted to feature this one. And it's all pictures from like New York and LA. I also featured this one. It's my Tijuana zine. I really love this one. It's very colorful, very vibrant, and I think it just captures like a beautiful side of Tijuana that's not really like noticed or talked about. So that's what that zine is about. Um, this one is monochrome. This was a really cool zine that I did with my friend Joe. We went all over looking for like special paper, and like this is like a silver paper where if you like move it in the light, you could see like a sheen to it. So I think that made it like a really cool zine, just like using a different kind of cardstock, not just like regular paper. Yeah, and yeah, so that's the end of my presentation. And I just wanted to show more of my zines, if that's okay, and just like other stuff too that's like influenced me. I know I talked about like Hamburger Eyes. One of my other friends too, Dan Monick, he's done a lot of really cool zines. My friends, um, let me see. But yeah, let me show these ones. And then Ziba, I don't know if there's anything you want me to cover.
Oh, just everyone, please ask questions. We want to get to know more about everything. Who has any questions? But yeah, let's see your. Let's put a big screen for
Oh,
you to share your zines that you have like physically, or
yeah, yeah. Do you present me or do I do anything?
let's do stop share for your screen.
Okay, cool. All right, yay. So yeah, okay. So anywho, these are just some of my different zines that I wanted to show today. This one right here, this one was with these hands. This was one of my earliest zines that I did do for like the LA Art Book Fair. Our friends like got together and they printed these through like a really nice like vendor. This is like probably one of the only times I've ever had something like printed professionally. Like they like cut it, they did everything for us, but it was like really nice. And I made this in 2014. It's called With These Hands, and it's all themed with like people like using for different things. This is like a picture.
See frozen connection, I think, but let's see. So one question we have are, what are you working on currently? Everyone, feel free to ask questions too. I think Desi's connection was slow, but it'll come back any second. Yeah, I really liked hearing about the first zine ever made in 2009 and then the one in 2014, which is already 10 years ago. And working for the Mocha, and I think I saw LA Taco also. And oh, I think we're back. And also, while we're here, what's everyone working on themselves? If we're all zine makers, I think OC Zine Fest just happened. San Francisco Zine Fest, San Diego Zine Fest. And I know LA Zine Fest is going to be in March. And I liked hearing about how there was a zine library at the Smell. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, the audio. So Steve Rivers says, I've been, yeah, I can hear Ziva, but not Desi. I think your audio's, uh, oh, I see technical difficulties. Des is trying to log back on. No worries. But oh yeah, Steve Rivers was one of our previous zine makers. So I've been working on some new ones, one on ravens, trying to keep up with your zebras. Oh, that's cool. Raven zines. Oh, unmute. Let's see if we can unmute. Hmm. Ask to unmute. I wonder if there's a setting. So is anyone else allowed to talk? Does everyone's mic work or not?
That's test from Steve.
Oh, thank you. It works for Steve. So maybe Jessica's has to reset because I don't hear Jessica Ruiz.
Hey, this is Oscar. Just testing.
Oh, okay, it works for Oscar. Well, we see the zines and they look cool. Thank you. Oh, and Oscar just organized the fourth edition of Photo Mercado and all photography zine, book, and print fest here in Chicago. Wow. Jessica. Let's see. I think we're reconnecting, but oh, I recognize Julian Lopez. Is that from Claremont, Pomona, or a different Julian Lopez? Oh, and I know Valerie does zines too. What have you been working on? Photo zines. I know I saw Valerie at the Ranch Library, Jefferson Zine Fest. That's cool. That was, oh, and then John Dishwasher. What zine fests have been coming up lately? Hi, Valerie. Oh, I see Desi texting.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we hear Jessica now.
Uh-oh. Somebody.
It works.
So you should do that. Okay.
Oh, we just see
Well,
the
can you switch
video.
your echoes? Hey.
Okay, I think you're back.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Let me see. So, yeah. So sorry about that. We just lost connection for a minute, but I was just here to show some of my different work. Um, I've done a lot of mini zines that are really cool to do collaborations with friends. This is a neon zine that I did with my friend Paul. It's called Neon from New York, New Orleans, Los Angeles. So it's pretty cool. We did this one together. And I think that's what's really cool about Zine is that you can make stuff with all of your friends, you can share stuff, and then other people are like into it, like people that like neon, like oh, like I think that's really cool. And I've met friends through just doing the Zine alone, people, just through the neon community. So. Uh, this is one of my latest ones. Oh, yeah. I will show you the latest one too. Dog bite. I'll talk about dog bite next. But this is one of my latest ones. It's called In Between Days. It's again just one 35 millimeter. A lot of stuff that I'm into. Building places, abandoned places that aren't in existence anymore. That's just a lot what my things are. I feel like I'll be drawn to a place, and then before I know it, I'm like, oh, that's it. And then the next time I go there, it's gone. So I think that's why it's really important for us photographers and creatives to document what we're doing to make things like this. Just because you never know what you're gonna document at that time. You don't know what's going to be there at the next moment. Gentrification's all around us. Everything's being developed and, redone. And that's just a part of life. Things change. Things can't always be forever. So that's why when we document it and we make it, it does make it forever because then you have these books, these zines, things that you can trade with everybody, sell to people, across the globe. They travel. So this is one of my latest ones. This is Dog Bite. This one I'm really into. It's a larger format theme than I've ever done before. It's printed on like a special like artist graphite paper. A lot of people ask me like what this is, what kind of paper it is. It's like number one question for like zine makers. I think like a lot of us get asked is like, where did you print this, or what kind of paper is it, like stuff like that. So this is yeah, and it feels kind of like construction paper, which is pretty cool. So this is I did call this zine dog bite. A lot of people think it's just like a title, but I actually I went to Mexico with my mom and dad, and I was walking down the street taking pictures, and I went into like this cul-de-sac area, and I didn't notice there's like this little dog coming out of the corner, and I kind of like ignored it, and I was like, oh, like I kind of like started walking away from it, and then I took a picture, and then it was just barking, and he started following me, so I started to walk away, and then it bit me, and so I got a dog bite, and I have a scar on my leg, and that's why I call it dog bite because this first picture right here was the one I was taking when I got bit by the dog. So I'll never forget that dog. So thank you. But yeah, and this is all pictures from the area of Tijuana. That's again, it's like right at the border. A lot of forgotten areas. Oh yeah, sorry. This is in Savina. These are just. This is also LA. Just different places. Um, I always have a camera with me. I try to have something with me at all times because I always, even on my way to work, I'll take pictures. I stick my hand out of my sunroof. I have a sunroof in my car, which is like a really big deal for me. 'Cause I'm always taking pictures out of my sunroof, or even just like pulling over really quick, just to get the shot. Like I said, and it's really important. Lighting is important. The time and place that you're in is important. And documenting it is so important. That's why like you get to capture things that people won't notice. A hole in the fence that you can make look interesting. by taking a picture of it. Like, this is something I did on my lunch break. I work in Linwood, so um, when I take my lunch breaks, I'll just go drive around, just get lost in different cities, drive through Compton, drive through Watts, wherever, and just start taking pictures. Um, this is right here in Linwood. This is right behind the school that I work at, off of Banning. This is, a place that I pass every day. These are like my everyday surroundings, and that's why I find them so interesting and important to document because they're just ever changing. So this is like, I know I'm not from Linwood, but I feel like it's important to document Linwood because it's a place that matters. This is right here in City Terrace. Eva's Liquor. I love this neon. I've gone to it like so many times. I like to take pictures of it with my friends. Um, it's just like a place that I love to go to. This is like the inside too of Eva's Liquor. Oh, sorry, this side is the inside of Eva's Liquor. Me and my friends went in there and like bought a bunch of like. Well, me and my friend went in there and like bought apple juice and like candy and like I think coconut water or something. And the guy like laughed at us and was like, he looked at all the stuff we bought. I think it was like a Saturday night. I don't know. It was like a like a night when people are like out doing other things, and he just looked at us like, "Were you guys in AA?" Like, and he just started making fun of us. We're like, "No, like we're just out taking pictures, man." Like. But yeah, this is like a picture from his store, the inside. So, and he had like a bunch of cool art. And then even that's really cool because like when you ask people to like take a picture of their store, they're kind of like, "What? Why?" And he's like, "Oh, I like your store. Like your place looks interesting. Like you look cool. And like it tells a story." And like right away they kind of like are, and they're like drawn to it. But yeah, I think we have some questions in the chat. Thank you, Oscar, for support. Thank you, Sita and James too. Thank you, James. And James from Arizona just bought some amazing. I really appreciate the blog here too. You know what? I see the question about adding words. There are some of my that I have added text to. I do like doing that. It kind of helps create like just more of a story, like introduction. I did that for my think one is I wrote like a little intro for it. I think it does add just a little more sincerity to it and like a little more depth. Sometimes, I'm not going to explain my things, so it is good to write something in there. I've been wanting to experiment more with, text and print and just adding more to that. I think that's a good thing too. I accidentally printed a zine not too long ago where I like left some text at the back that nobody noticed. Um, I just told everybody now, but and it gave me the idea of like kind of like not like subliminal messaging, but just like hiding little things in there. So it's kind of like an idea I do want to play with, just using text like images. So kind of like that mistake gave me an idea, which is pretty cool. Colors are definitely on the pricier end. I know that's like the question a lot of people ask is like how to do that. It is adding up, but if it's something that you really love and you want to do, like, you'll find a way to do it. And that's why, like, I don't make these zines to like make money or make off of it as much as I would love to. Like, I'm really solely making it to like create and connect and just share. When I just did the Halloween Fest this last year, I was next to some really great people from like, oh gosh, I wish I could remember where they're from, but they were so nice. Just getting to like table with people was really great about scene making. Like you just neighbored up with people that you want to be. You're like elbow to elbow, just like sitting there, like, hey man, this is what I do. This is what I do, and like ideas and feed off each other. Like just this ever community with students, which I just appreciate. I appreciate the questions when people want to ask, about processes. Like I think it's cool because then again, I might learn from them, they learn from me, or they get inspired, things like that. I think that's really cool. Um, and yeah, something like I was just kind of talking about, I don't really look to like the profit. My friends will like encourage me to just like reinvest, which I do. On started like a hotel, and I minimal free one, and my friend was like once you make some money, you have to invest in. Like that's my next step to, just invest in myself. And that is important. You do get to like take a little bit from it. You get to reinvest it, and it doesn't make it so scary when you get zine. Like here, like you're like you're not to it in like monetarily. You're like, oh, I need the money back for it. Like sometimes you just want to trade it. Like my friend Val, like I love to give Val my stuff. I love her work. I want to I was when I have to, I'm like, I want her to see it, and then like she'll hype me up, and I appreciate that too, which is like a really big thing for me, is just having that community, like people that support you. So thank you. Um, for me, I don't know. I don't really see it. And there's a physical difference between photo zines and photo art books and stuff like that. I mean, you would break it down by like the physical matter if it's like a hardcover and stuff like that, which is why I think I'm so drawn to making these bigger now. It's kind of like I'm like a bigger publisher. I'm making myself bigger, even more out there for people to see it smaller, which I don't mind. I love the smaller ones too. They're great. I think it's good to just explore different sizes, and then just to like break through and like I don't need a publisher to make a big zine. I could just do it myself. If I want to add hardcover to it, I'll figure it out. I'm sure one of my friends knows how to do it. They can help me do it. So yeah, thank you for the questions. Um, but yeah, I don't know if there's anyone else that has anything they want to add, but I do just want to share that I'm making more zines. I'm going to continue the Doc Light series. I want to do some art shows this next year. Hopefully, do something like a solo show in like the San Gabriel Valley. I've always wanted to do something in my area. There's not a lot of galleries and things like that. So I want to have something in my area so that like people that would see the things that I see, they'll like get to experience an art show in that form. I think that would be really cool to bring something like that to the San Gabriel Valley. I might do that a laundromat. I've been throwing that idea around for like years. This laundromat that I go visit a lot and take pictures of around, and like I've made friends with the lady. And I'm like, I'm gonna ask her one day, can I have an art show here? Because the lighting's great and it's all white when like it's ready to go. People could do their laundry if they want, get some business. But yeah. Um, another cool thing I do want to share that's kind of funny and just like to give people ideas too. I did for my friend Matt Trejo. Um, a lot of people know Matt, and the zine is called Beat on the Mat. It's like an ode to the Ramones. But it was just like a really fun zine that I made for him, and it has like quotes from like friends and like pictures of him from like high school because I know this guy for like such a long time. So it's like really cool. Just like you can make zines about anything. And that's what I want to emphasize too to everybody on here. People are asking me like, oh, like what does it have to be about? Like, does it have to do this? Does it have to do that? Like, it doesn't have to be anything. Like, it's what you want to make it. You get to be creative with it. Like, if it's something that you like and you want to document, make a zine about it. I have zines that are about, cooking. I have zines, just different art. I have a zine. I think I got this in New York. It's called Guide to Dating Gangsters. It's just like weird stuff like that that people are like into, like, make a zine about it. Like, why not? It doesn't have to be so serious. It could be serious, it could be like a self-help zine. It could be something about gardening, like anything, like you can make it whatever you want. This one is kind of like looks like an old map, like Thomas guide zine, which is really cool. It's like spiral bound. There's so many different things you can do. And I think that's just what I'm drawn to about making zines, is just like, what's the next project I gonna make? What's the next creative way that I can present my work? What other things can I do to make this more tangible and like just get it out there and share it? I think that's the important thing about making zines and like why I continue to do what I do, and why I'm not gonna stop. I think it just keeps growing, getting to share with everybody is really important, and I just want other people to make too. It's not just about what I make. I like keeping what other people make too. This is, another friend. It's not just about me. I think to share what you see daily, or monthly, like however you want to make a zine, you could do them. I think it's really cool when people take their time and they'll let out like a 10-year zine. I'm like, what? Like you're holding on to all this time, all these photos. Like me, I have so many photos, like so many photos. Like even going through and gathering all these and just thinking back about how many pictures I've taken. I can't even imagine how many cameras I've had, how many cameras I've broken, lost, just finding roles that I still haven't developed. Like, I'm like, oh man, this could be a zine, like all this lost film, like, or even just like, I've had friends that made zines on like a swap meet. My friend Will, he did like the coolest zine about swap meets, and like some of those swap meets are gone now. So it's just like, it just goes to show like, you can find importance in like daily themes that people want to document that aren't going to end up on news or somewhere online. Like you can make a zine about a laundromat, you can make a zine about a swap meet, you can make a zine about your neighborhood, you can make a zine about your friends, anything that you're drawn to. So your cats, make a zine about your cats. Who doesn't like a cat zine? You know, I mean, there's just so many things. Cat zine. Um, but yeah, let me see. We have a question in the chat. Uh, my plans again, just I want to just keep making more zines. I just gave a disposable camera to my friend Miguel. I just have been telling him like what a great eye he has. He takes pictures on like his phone, but I'm like, dude, like you take beautiful pictures. So I gave him a disposable and like I just want to like keep creating with people, and then like just getting to spend time with creative people. I think that's gonna just cultivate my art and like, what I'm gonna do in this next year. Just being around people that you know give me like that positive energy. I think it's really important. So I want to just keep creating. So if there's anyone that wants to collaborate, the door's always open. Let me know. If you need help making zines, I'm here to help you. I would love to do like tutorials and stuff like that. I wanted to do something today, but there's so much to talk about with zines, but again, I just want to keep being creative and connecting with people and communicating through my art and photography through this tangible medium, just like getting out there to share with the world. So that's just my goal to keep growing. Yeah. I do have an Instagram. It's just hey Desi. It's HeyDesilu. I try to post content on there. I'll definitely get better about that. I want to start a blog again. I want to have just more like day-to-day stuff. I think it's cool to just have that. Making more zines. But yeah, my Instagram is HeyDesilu, and I do have Big Cartel with my last two zines on there, Dogfight Issue 1 and 2. If you guys want to pick those up, and yes, and it's in the so thank you to all my friends for joining me here today, for new faces, everybody, and I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to show my work and to be here for the Van Nuys Library in Los Angeles Public Library. Cool thing, never gonna forget. Have my friends here too. Me, Jessica, Muñoz. That's a really big thing for me too. Everyone that tuned I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Please follow me on Instagram. If you want to see what I'm up to. You guys see me at the event. I play Alley Zine Fest. Hopefully I get in because Alley Zine Fest is gonna be there's gonna be at the Broad. That's really cool. I love Alley Zine Fest. So hopefully I'll get to be part of that. And if not, I'll still be there supporting it. And I just, don't stop creating, guys. Let's just keep sharing and doing it with each other and doing creative stuff together. So thank you, Ziba.
Thank you, everyone, and also happy holidays. If you have any more questions, feel free to stick around. I love seeing your slideshow, so we'll have that on YouTube, and we'll follow you on Instagram and check out your Big Cartel. And when you have a blog, is it going to be on where do you usually do your blog? Like Tumblr, WordPress, or Blogspot, or
I used to use Blogspot. So I'm gonna check because I think a while ago my last blog got taken over by bots. So I need to like redo that again, find like a good avenue, maybe Tumblr or something. So I'll definitely be posting that once I get it going. So thank you for asking.
oh, you're welcome. Happy to host. Yeah, we do these a lot once a month. So next month we're having someone local to actually Van Nuys, and they're going to talk about Drifter Zine and how they do their San Fernando Valley zines. And that's going to be Monday, January 13th. So in 2025, we'll have more Zine Club, and everyone in the chat that makes zines, we can also feature you. We want to hear about everyone's zines. And I've known Desi since 2004, I think 20 years or something, because I met you back in the Glass House era, Pomona. So it's been a long time, and I liked hearing about your band that you did it and then played the Smell and saw zines at the Smell. So that's a great zine origin story. So glad to hear about how you, and then, yeah, a little background with LA Zine Fest. I am one of the co-organizers. There was 5 of us. Now there's almost 15 of us. And so the way they pick the zine makers is they like say 500 people apply, then they give each zine maker like 40 or 50 to look through and accept like 10. So I already did my batch. You weren't in my batch, so otherwise you would have been in. Sorry. So I don't know who got you, but yeah, it's just like a numbers game because like I think 100 people get in, but 500 people apply. So it's just, but it's every year. So every year, I know you were there last year. It was hot, a hot day. And I'm excited for, yeah, to see everyone at the Broad. 2 days. The first time ever. It's going to be 2 days. Saturday, March 1st and Sunday, March 2nd. I believe like 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., but free. So everyone can come check it out. Oh yeah, it is hard organizing Fest, Oscar. You want to let everyone in. Yeah, but there's not enough room. So Oscar knows from Chicago, the photo Mercado. I gotta check that out. So we gotta have Oscar talk about zine work in the future. Very true, Oscar. Yeah, we have a good turnout, and so well, I guess we'll wrap it up, and we'll wrap it up early so everyone can get ready for the days off work. I'm here at the library, so not tomorrow or Wednesday, but thank you so much, Desi, and everyone for joining.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate everyone spending their Monday afternoon with me. It was lovely. And I hope you guys got something out of this and felt something because I felt something and this was really present here. So thank you.
Yeah, I want to stop.